And I learned the hardest thing to do in this life is to live without a coach.
Hardest thing
Ooh,
in
boy,
life
when
is to
I
live.
without a coach.
Because you can't play football without a coach.
No, and the coach always corrects habits. And the hardest thing is to live without a parent. Because they're always.
Yeah.
So manhood
Wow.
is a real thing.
Wow.
And it sucks.
Wow.
But I'm gonna get good at it. If I could
get knocked down,
if
but
I
you
could
gotta
do
get back
football,
up.
man, I'm about to perfect this thing. I'm about to get a rep. I want to be the best daddy. I want to be the best prayer. I want to be. I'm about to do it.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Get a rep.
Welcome to the podcast, my family and friends. Today, we're going to talk about strength to endure. I have a very special guest with me, and I'm excited to introduce him to our podcast community and for him to share his amazing story with you, because I'm telling you, he's definitely the real one. Tommie Harris is a former professional football player. He was a defensive tackle for 8 seasons in the NFL. He's a father, author, speaker, and a man on a mission. Brother Tommie, welcome, man.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Listen, he was struggling to call me Henry, and I keep telling him, nobody on the podcast would call me Bishop. I'm Henry. Why? Because I'm one of the real ones.
I got you.
There you go. There you go. So let's get right into it, man. We're going to talk a little bit about your book. I'm telling you. So listen, ladies, listen, because, men sometimes we kind of like, but if you're a woman out there, you've got a man in your life, you're dating him, maybe you're married to him, maybe he's your cousin, your uncle, your brother, whatever. I need you to reach out to that man right now. And I need you to make sure he's watching this podcast. I want you to forward it to him. Tell him about it, because what we're about to discuss, I believe, will transform his life forever. And ladies, pass it on to your girlfriends, because, again, the content of today's program is going to help you. It's going to help you to understand a man and maybe to see what we're going through, and somehow God can use you to help us. Now, I want to start with your career, Tommie. Most people know you from your NFL career. What was your overall experience like in the NFL?
Overall experience was gratefulness. I had a blast, but business becomes business, and there's a point in the NFL where the reality of business takes away that joy of the kid, where
Right.
you're not good enough, or the time has come where the company, because the game is not the game anymore in the NFL, that's a job.
Wow.
And it takes you a while to connect your mind around,
Right.
this is business, and you're in show business.
Right.
So the same game you've been playing your whole life as a kid has an expiration when the people say it's time for you to be finished.
Wow. Wow. Do you think you were ready for the NFL when you got in?
No question.
Okay.
I've had cousins that went before me that was first round draft picks, and I had an opportunity to go against talent since I was a sophomore in high school that was elite. My cousins were first-round draft picks, so they allowed me to train with them. They were already in the draft. They were already in the league. Stocker McDougal, Jerome McDougal, all from Pompano, Ely High School. They allowed me to sit and spend time with them, and I got in there and I beat my first NFL player in 10th grade. I knew nobody could stop me.
Wow. 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 What was the thing in the NFL that when you got in there, it was like a shocker to you? What shocked you in the NFL when you just got in? Was there anything? Was it women? Was it the fame of it? What was that thing?
If you're talking about the game, or you talking about as the whole, like the just entertainment.
Just the entertainment piece of it. Yeah.
The whole thing was like, wow, I'm really famous. And that takes a while to work.
Hit you, right?
Yeah, because you don't, people eyes fix when they see you.
Yeah.
People eyes start changing. So, but I come from the porch.
Right. Pumping up.
So it'd be hard. It was hard adjusting to, I'm still watching people.
Yeah.
I don't care, like, who you touching like that? Like, what you, like, people was moving in and things was going, like, but I've always had a real foundation, but that was the funniest, that was the hardest part. I wouldn't say funny. That was the hardest part, was watching people look at me different than being a human. Like,
right.
I'm still a regular.
Right. Now you walk into not only fame, but money.
Oh, yeah.
How did that change you and the people around you?
Lord.
Did you get some cousins you didn't know of? Some relatives that just showed up all of a sudden because you had money?
Well, I tell you, I come from a family that we did well. The professional part of us, we had cousins that went before us, people that went. So I kind of got schooling on the way up, but yeah, folk change. You change too.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to work that thing out.
Yeah.
And I've always had a father that told me I'm not my bank account. Yeah, a man is. I remember when I got paid $10 million. I'm the first to ever be paid.
You got paid
$10
what?
million. I'm the first to ever be paid $10 million.
Say that again.
I'm the first to ever be paid $10 million.
$10 million
Per season.
Whoa.
At the D-line position.
So did you have women coming after that $10 million?
You want to talk now or later? They act like they wasn't. I thought I was cute till I recognized how much money I had. Like, they don't like me. Yeah, I thought
It was just after the money.
I thought, man, they weren't worried about me. They weren't stuff me. Yeah, you put them digits around everything. Ugly gonna turn good and all. Put some digits behind it. Yeah, he ain't quite that. Yeah, he ain't that bad.
Yeah.
He all right. Yeah.
That's why, I always talk to men about this. I always say this, and ladies, don't kill me for this. I always say that the worst thing a guy can do when seeking a woman is to try to impress her with what he got.
Whack.
If you're looking for a real woman, don't flaunt nothing to her. Act like you're poor. Act like you ain't got nothing. Maybe the first date, you take her to a nice place. I get that. Mm-hmm. But if you really want to know she's into you, stop dropping the money. Mm-hmm. Take her to McDonald's. Go to a drive-thru. Yeah. Do something.
My grandma said if she can't go to McDonald's with you, then she can't sit in no mansion with you.
That was a good woman.
Yeah. I come from them real people. Like, nah. But in that line of work, I had to recognize there's greedy eyes.
Greedy eyes.
Yeah. There's people that
and they look good too.
Oh, so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Shaped nice.
All that. Mm-hmm. Hourglass, all that. But I got to a certain point where I knew that thing, when you start making a lot of money, that thing gonna cost you to play around.
Cost you to play around.
It's gonna cost. It's a cost to be the boss. That's gonna cost. You gonna play. And I stayed out of a lot of areas that I was afraid. And I was also, Reggie White mentored me since I was in college.
Really?
Yeah, that was like my daddy. That was just, besides my daddy, that man is, I got a chapter in the book where he slaps a piece of shrimp out my hand. And that's how saved Reggie was. Yeah. Reggie told me, you can't eat no shrimp. I was like, man, I was just happy to have a buffet with him. Like, I was eating, I was like, boy, we got all that. I didn't know I was making the mistake. Reggie said, you love the Lord, you can't eat. Like, I don't know what salvation is in. I want the shrimp. But I've been through a lot of different men and working it out. We're all trying to work this thing out.
Right.
And
Right.
along the journey, man, I had a lot of great men that's come and protected me,
That's
protected my eyes, protected my ear gates,
'Cause that's
all the
important.
gates.
All the gates. 'Cause
All.
It always leads to something.
All the gates.
Either destruction,
The
or it can
walking
lead to-
gate.
Yeah. Wow. Now, speaking of salvation, your daddy was a preacher. Your mom was a missionary in the church. At what point did you felt that you really had a good relationship with God? Because I grew up in the church. I don't know nothing about the
Seven.
world, but for me, I know I got saved around 10 and played church for a while. But really, really got saved in my teen. What age?
7.
7.
Is when I knew I knew God was drafting me, not the NFL. I've been drafted. Like, God pulls you. There's not a thing that I don't believe that the man can do or the woman can do nothing that God is not capable. God is doing the pulling. He draw me nearer close to thee. Like, God is. I felt like since I was 7, I've been trying to run away from a calling that I know that God has pulled me to. And sometimes the magnitude can get quite heavy and the noise can get very loud. And I've always tried to, like, I see spirits. Weirdo stuff. Like, yeah, God, I don't want to see this stuff. Leave me alone. My whole life. That's why I tell you, I know eyes. For real. I know souls.
Wow. And you can tell the real ones from the bad ones.
Come on, man. I can hear it in volume. I can hear it in sound.
Wow.
I can hear it comes in static. It can come through, and then I can feel. If I get a chance to feel, it's over. I've always known I've been a cuckoo for Cocoa Pipes for Christ. I've always been a different, and my sisters will tell you, I can smell the fragrance.
Wow.
I know when the Spirit of God is really in a place, and I know.
Wow.
And I've always tried to get away and just be regular. My whole life is trying to fit in, because people used to walk off with me when I come in the locker room, boys leaving. They talking about all the girls and everywhere. The preach coming, I come in, they don't want to, but I'm trying to still be 19. I'm trying to be, but I have an anointing on my life, and I don't fit in.
Wow.
I can't quite fit in. If dudes are leaving me alone, like, I want to talk about girls, they don't want to talk with me about that.
Because your language.
Like,
Oh, this is good stuff, man. Because, I can relate to that, because I grew up in the church, sheltered, by my parents. So, even if I wanted to be bad, I couldn't, in a sense that I remember, Tommie, I'll never forget this. My friends, they were smoking marijuana, all that kind of stuff. And I was so scared. And I was trying one day, I'm going to be like them. So I'm going to just roll that joint. So I didn't have the nerve to get the marijuana. So I got me some dry leaves. Seriously, I picked it up off the ground, crushed the leaf, and rolling it just like them.
Did your thing.
And, rolling it.
It did your thing.
I didn't know my mama was sitting in the house looking through the window. And man, I got that thing and lit that thing and off dry leaf. That's not even the real thing.
You not even know.
My mom came out, and let me tell you something. She gave me a whipping I'll never forget. And I realized that when God's anointing is on your life, you'll try to be bad, you can't fit in.
Can't.
And that's what I heard.
Oh, yeah. At all. I've always known I've been the oddball.
Well,
No matter where I go, what I do. And then I have a lot of sisters. I'm the only boy.
only boy.
Yeah, so
Out
the
of
feminine.
with 5 sisters.
Yeah.
Right.
The feminine energy is
Strong.
very. But I come from a savage father.
So he kept the masculinity in you.
I had a soldier and a pastor.
Soldier.
My daddy was a E7. He was a drill sergeant.
Wow.
I lived every day on my dad. Write on stuff in capital letters. Don't let this air go down. Nobody better not touch the air. And it better not, he wrote on everything. One load. My dad locked the refrigerator at 9. He cut the back of the TV when he went to work. And if the house wasn't situated the way he wanted, you ain't watching no TV. If it's fixed, he gonna come and connect the cords back. He was a mechanic. He did. Boy, I came under that. Yeah. A real.
Daddy did that.
Real.
Were you scared of him?
I admired my father. Never scared. No. And when I say scared, I just
Naturally,
I'm a soldier.
Well,
I saw what my daddy did to men. He took me everywhere with him. So I saw how scared men was. I knew who. I didn't play with my dad.
don't play with
When
him.
he talked, my daddy came home every day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
We would argue who gonna take his boot off, left boot, right boot, when he's moving. My dad would meet us at the door, and everybody got to come and we're gonna pray. My whole life is about prayer. My father set the tempo all day. It didn't matter.
Right.
From the day he lived to the die. Like my daddy's always set the tempo in prayer.
Why? Because I'm a big dog. Woo.
What would you say to guys who are watching you right now who their fathers probably have a bad relationship with their baby mama, their wives, whatever, and they're really not the kind of father that you had? How would you encourage them to really step up to the plate, man, and stay home?
I would tell them to take a rep. Like in football, you would learn if you want to get good at a thing, and a lot of us are afraid to fail, but repetition makes perfect. And if you want to love, rep it. If you want to be better at, rep it. If you want to learn how to hug more. And if you see people that do things, like I pay attention to men that I want to be, and I take a little bit of what he do, like, okay, I like that. I don't like that. That's too loud. That's crazy. Oh, that's cool. You could do that to your wife. You actually go hold her hand and do, you okay to get a rep. And whatever you're wanting to build in yourself, we're all trying to become the fullness of what this life means, what it's given us. You want to maximize the value. Get a rep. Whatever it is you're bad at, whatever you're not good at, get a rep. The greatest thing I've learned to do was to read. I did not know I could time travel anytime I open a book. I can go anywhere.
That's good.
I learned to read. It was like life just, oh my God, that's why they say you want to hide something from a black man, put it in the book. Like,
Yeah.
I can go anywhere. That's the thing that unlocked me. You're allowed to course correct.
Wow. Tommie, you wrote a book, Endure, Playing Through Life's Hardest Hits. 41 days after you said I do, you lost your wife. What happened, and how did you as a man handle that? 41 days
Yeah.
having this ideal wedding.
It sucked. Sucked. But that same kid that knew that God called him to do something, I still believe God. I trust him. I did not know how to quit. I don't know how to.
don't know how to
I can't think my life without God. Even my mother just went through what she's going. Like,
Yeah, you just recently lost your mom.
Yeah, but I know that you can't make it out of here alive. Everybody got their time, they got their like, so it's what are you gonna do while you're here?
Wow.
My parents have my faith. I can't imagine sometimes I get scared when I think about my life without. I can't think. What if, like, boy, how do people make it without no faith?
No faith, right.
How they doing that?
Yeah, that's what you were thinking about going through. Was there ever a time during the process, maybe the early stage of all of this happening, even with the passing of your mom, that you kind of was like, okay, God, what the heck are you doing to me?
Yeah.
I'm mad at you, man. What's going on?
Never mad. I'm telling you, I always felt, but I asked God, like, why you keep making me get hit so often? Okay, man, I done lost a wife, I done lost a daughter, I done lost a nanny, I done lost a lot. I say, why is you keep hitting? He say, Tommie, a tank don't ask how many times he gets hit.
Just fire back.
That's what he had to, but that had to come through an argument with God that you can return fire, right? That had to come after the argument. That had to come after God. Why is you doing, why? And God satiated my soul where you can return, a tank can return fire. And you got to speak to those things and begin to encourage yourself. That becomes a daily job. And I learned the hardest thing to do in this life is to live without a coach.
Hardest thing in life is to live
without a coach.
Because you can't play football without a coach.
No, and the coach always corrects habits. And the hardest thing is to live without a parent. Because they're always.
Yeah.
So manhood is a real thing.
Wow.
And it sucks.
Wow.
But I'm going to get good at it. If I could
get knocked down,
if I could do football, man, I'm about to perfect this thing. I'm about to get a rep. I want to be the best daddy. I want to be the best prayer. I want to be, I'm about to do it.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Get a rep.
You're helping a lot of guys. I mean, women, we're not forgetting you. But because a lot of guys, and I can speak from personal experience, sometimes we hide our emotions because we're taught to be tough or whatever. And I love how you use the analogy of football to explain life. Now, you talk about pain management. Talk to us about this, Tommie, pain management.
Managing pain. Playing through the pain. Playing through the pain.
That's hard, though, Tommie. Yeah. That's hard, man.
Yeah, but you got to be tough, savage, goondog. Believe in God. In the midst of it all, beyond it.
But I'm hurting, man, Tommie. I'm hurting. God, you hit me this. This happens to me, and I can't get up and play again. Hey.
I have to. I have to. Whatever man is listening, you have to. I have a son that is looking at me. When you become unselfish, this life is not your own.
That's good.
This ain't about you.
That's good.
This is about people believing that they want to quit all day. People want something to believe in. And you have to get up and do the work of unselfish, do the work. Come, I know my boy is watching me, and the same way my daddy went day after day. I used to watch my dad was so tired. But he showed up, strapped his boots on, got up and went to work, loved on the people. Okay, now I got to do it better. I can't quit. I can't falter. God gave me two things. When I was in the time of making all this money, God showed me a treasure chest. Flipping out money, fam. It was just moving, gold little flakes. The treasure, and then the visual that God had, it was like behind, it was where my head was fixed. He said, Tommie, you fixed here. when he moved me to the left, I saw at the same amount that the money was moving out, it was golden men jumping off a bridge. Golden. The same way that money was moving like the treasure, these men were just leaving the world. They didn't want to be here. And God said, if you get them, I got you.
Wow.
That's where you need to be fixed.
Wow.
All that little cash money movement. I walked in the bank, and I'm going to finish it. I walked in the bank when I made $10 million. I came in, me and my banker made a real pact with one another. And we walk into the, I say, her name is Yvette. I say, Yvette, you mean to tell me just last week, this is the new deal. This is my new contract. So me and my banker got close. I come in, I made $11 million. The first contract I had was $11 million, and the next I got $40 million for 4 years. My banker has been teaching me all day how to be rich, because she know I'm from the porch. So she a real girl. I come in, I say, Yvette, how that number just skipped like that? So where's that money? Can y'all put all that money in one room? Let me see it. Yvette laughed at me. She called all the people. Like, Tommie, the bank don't hold this much money. No. I say, so I'm supposed to believe that that's how people, I say, that's how people living. So that's why they be mad when their numbers be down. Like, I only know the anointed, like, boy.
Yes.
So I'm supposed to walk different because that number went crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I've been learning the whole time, man.
Wow. Wow.
When I tell you for real.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know how to calculate what God can do inside of what man says is happening.
That's good. That's good.
Uh-uh.
That's good. We're going to try to wrap this up.
Come on, please.
I want to go back to counterfeit,
Yes, sir.
because that drew my attention. And that's chapter 9 in your book, Play 87.
Do I got shoes on or are they off? Is it cleats on or cleats off?
Cleats off.
Okay, that's okay.
Talk to us.
About counterfeit?
Yeah, counterfeit.
Just being fake, playing yourself, trying to be something you're not.
Because that's destructive.
It's God loves you just the way you are. Just the way I am.
Wow. Wow.
God showed me that you can't ever be rich enough or smart enough that God won't go up and teach you. And you can't be bad enough that God won't go down and reach you. He's the great I am. And I am is breathing. It's happening.
Right.
You don't play yourself for nobody. If you got a wound, don't
play yourself.
don't cover it up.
Yeah, don't play. So as a man,
Don't ever play yourself.
don't play yourself
For no.
to win the approval of somebody. As a woman, a lot of women do this. They play themselves, counterfeit, to win a man over. It's not worth it.
At all. The fragrance is gonna go bad. I'm telling you, if you wrap anything up and cover it too long, it's gonna spoil. You gotta, the biggest thing I learned about a wound is you gotta let it breathe. If you wanna heal it.
Right.
You wanna get right for the people, keep covering it up, it's gonna get sick.
Jesus.
So sometimes the little moment that you gotta just be brave, have the courage to know God knows way more about you than you know about him.
Right. Well.
God know what he doing. He knows the hair. If a comb got stuck in my hair, he knows the nap it got stuck in. He knows the number of the, he knows. And you gotta trust him. Trust him. I'm telling you, to any person listening, God knows what he's doing.
Yes.
And you're okay. Find your pace.
And with that, it is a wrap.
I love y'all. I love this. Might be my pastor now. Pastor Hannah, I thank you, but this my guy right now. Okay? I thank you.
Man,
What's
listen.
You ain't never had John Hannah here?
Oh, yeah.
You had John Hannah?
Twice.
Well, I was raised under, that's who had me in Chicago.
Okay, I got to call him then.
And he know that.
I got to call him.
Tommy. Yes, sir.
Listen, my friends, if you haven't gotten a copy of his book, Endure, you need to get a copy of this book. Again, I don't know what to say. I think what we can walk away from this podcast with today is that we're all going to be hit with life circumstances. It may not be the death of your wife, daughter, mother, father, and then, a babysitter, housekeeper. It could be a failing business. It could be, struggling with low self-esteem. Whatever your situation may be, Brother Tommie is really basically telling us that we have to play through life. No one will get through life sitting on the sideline. You have to get on the field. Yes, you got to play. And sometimes, guess what? You're going to get knocked down. You're going to fumble the ball at times, but you got to keep on playing. You got to keep on going. This is the purpose for my podcast. My podcast is not to get involved in trying to promote all of the gossip and the toxicity that's happening in our world. It's to empower you. It's to help you to become a better version of yourself. And that's why I bring guests like Tommie and others on to empower you. So my real ones, don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast to someone who you believe can benefit from the conversation. I hope that you will watch us next time, but most importantly, share this podcast with someone. I'll see you next time. Peace out.
Blessings.